Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. It is Sunday, April 24th, 2022, and I have another week's worth of data on the new Capenna collector box pre-sales compared to the Kamigawa pre-sales from a couple months ago. So, another big spike this week, I guess 2 days ago, in the sales. And, keeping up with these cumulative sales of each set up to this point in the pre-release. So up to release minus 6 days, which is all the data through yesterday, April 23rd, the Saturday. New Capenna was already outselling Kamigawa, but when you do the adjustment for the length of the pre-order, it outsells it even more. The reason that adjustment is there is Kamigawa pre-orders started 59 days before release. New Capenna pre-orders only started 57 days before release. So when I have each of these adjusted numbers here, what I've done for each one is simply added 2 more days of data at the most recent 7-day average of daily box sales. And so when you do that, currently the adjusted number, New Capenna is outselling Kamigawa at the same point, adjusted by 27%. So there's a lot more uptake of this product. It's incredible to see a number that much higher, 27%. When we go to the 7-day moving average of box price, you can see that it took a big leg down this week. There was one dealer on TCG Player, which is where I'm getting all of these data, who all at once dumped their price from about 215 to 203. They just did it in one big step, and they had about 500 boxes for sale at the time, so nobody could compete, and that all at once brought the price down for the whole market. It was interesting because before that, TCG Player was selling at about 215 per box, but eBay was in the 198 to 201 price range, and now they've kind of evened up at the 202 to 203 kind of price range. So at this point, New Capenna is selling cheaper than Kamigawa ever did, and that's really interesting. So you take these two pieces of data together that there's a lot more New Capenna boxes being sold, but the sale price is much lower. And what I suspect is happening here is that the supply of New Capenna boxes is much higher than the Kamigawa supply was. I don't know. Let me know if you have a different theory on how these two data points could both occur together. And then if we look at the daily price without the 7-day averaging to smooth it out, you just see basically the same thing, a little more jittery because it's individual daily average prices. But something I want to talk about is, these boxes are going very fast. We're starting to see box opening videos on YouTube. We're going to start figuring out what else is in the set, the relative rarity of some of these gilded foil cards, especially the mythics and the rares that apparently only appear, I think, in set and collector boxes, but have a much higher chance in the collector boxes. So, there's a good chance with this product that it takes off in price the way Kamigawa did. And I think to a great degree, the market is expecting that. They think that WotC has kind of, at least in the short term, figured out how to put real value into a collector's box and get people excited about them. The proof is in the pudding that sales are 27% higher than they were for Kamigawa at the same point in the pre-sale. And I would definitely recommend you just go ahead and pre-order. It's at 202 this morning. TCG Player 202.65. So many boxes available at that price, and over on eBay, same thing, 204. So you probably ought to go ahead and pre-order, because if this takes off right after release, the same way that Kamigawa did, you may not see a retracement back to these kind of prices. The other thing to keep in mind is with the upcoming price increase that WotC announced several days ago, you look at the old prices, wholesale for a collector box has generally been about $173 for standard sets. If you assume that real shipping for someone to mail you this single box is about $5, and whether they're selling on TCG Player or eBay, we'll just call it 12% market fee. That may not be exactly correct. It depends on what kind of program you're committed to with the marketplace. But your break-even price with those parameters is going to be about 202. And it's funny that we actually see that that's about where we are. 202.65 for the gaming company, which again, this was the seller who had like 400 or 500 boxes for sale several days ago. So to see how this shakes out right around the price, and of course, these bigger dealers, they can get better economies of scale. They can uh, leverage their relationship with the distributor a little better. They'll be ordering so much that it'll be shipped freight, which is a lot cheaper than shipping UPS or FedEx. So they will have additional ways to make money even at these price points. But my point is, with this old model of how much the boxes cost, what we're seeing is that we're right near the break even price for selling these on a marketplace like TCG Player or eBay. Now, what happens when we have price increases that come up? Let's say it's 11%. Again, we'll have to see how that actually shakes out. WotC has said the average price increase will be 11%. And even then, we can't really understand what they mean by that, how they came to that calculation. And of course, the higher margin items that WotC sells, they aren't increasing prices on, like Modern Horizons, Secret Lair, Master sets that already have huge margins. They said they weren't increasing prices on those, but standard sets that have lower margins, they were. But collector boxes may be spared to some degree because they have higher margins to start with. But again, if we just take the 11% headline, the new wholesale price goes to $192. And, shipping's going to go up in cost too because everything's inflating. Assume the same market fee. The new break-even price for a collector box for a standard set becomes about $225. So if you can go to a marketplace today and you can buy a collector box at $202, in the future you will no longer be able to do this. The opportunity to buy at this kind of price will cease to exist. Maybe permanently. I hate to use words like permanently or forever, but if you're banking on WotC releasing dud products like Kaldheim collector boxes, Midnight Hunt collector boxes, Crimson Vow collector boxes that sell significantly below wholesale prices for long periods of time, you may be disappointed in the future. It seems like WotC may have unlocked how to really get people excited about the collector boxes finally, and as long as they control the print run numbers and they are somewhat disciplined about it, you may never see prices like this again for collector boxes. So I would just go ahead and say pre-order. Just pre-order now. If you know how many of these boxes you would eventually like to have, do not expect that these kind of low prices are going to persist into the future, because we can just see what happened to Kamigawa. Yeah, it overshot. Yeah, it retraced, but it's also going back into this price range. So don't hesitate if this is something you want to have eventually, because the days of getting these kind of prices are coming to an end, and this is what it'll look like in the future. Let me know what you think, if I missed anything. And otherwise, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade. Thanks a lot, guys.